I never thought my life in the wide-open spaces of Montana would turn into a nightmare of deceit, but that's exactly how it unfolded. My name is Sarah Thompson, and I've always prided myself on being the steady one, the woman who built a successful accounting firm from scratch in Bozeman, handling finances for ranchers and small businesses across the Gallatin Valley. The air here is crisp, the mountains eternal, and folks value hard work and family above all. Or so I thought. It started innocently enough. Or at least that's how it seemed. My husband, Jake, worked as a foreman on a cattle ranch outside town. He was rugged, with that easy Western charm, boots scuffed from long days in the saddle, a smile that could melt snow in January. We'd been married for 3 years, and while I earned more than him, managing books for big outfits like the Flying J Ranch, I never let it come between us. Money was just a tool to keep our modest home running, with its wraparound porch overlooking the Bridger Mountains. Then there was his mother, Evelyn. She lived in a small trailer on the edge of town, scraping by on Social Security after her husband passed from a heart attack 5 years back. One evening, she called us in tears. "Sarah, honey, I hate to ask, but my arthritis meds are costing an arm and a leg this month, and rent's due. Could y'all spare a little?" Jake looked at me with those pleading blue eyes, the ones that reminded me of why I'd fallen for him during a summer rodeo. Family first, right? That's the Montana way. I opened a new credit card account, one with a $1,500 limit, and added Evelyn as an authorized user. Just for essentials, I told her over coffee at her place, the scent of pine from the nearby forests drifting in. Groceries, meds, gas for your truck. She hugged me tight, promising she'd be careful. At first, the charges were fine. Walmart for food, the pharmacy in town, a fill-up at the Exxon on Main Street. I barely glanced at the statements, too busy with tax season. But 3 months in, things shifted. I spotted charges at boutique shops in Bozeman, a spa day at the Hot Springs Resort, even dinners at steakhouses I'd suggested for date nights, but Jake always claimed were too pricey. When I mentioned it to him, he shrugged it off. Mom's had a rough life, Sarah. Let her enjoy a little. You make plenty. Doesn't it make you feel good to help? His words stung, but I swallowed them. I'd always been the accommodator, the one who smoothed edges to keep peace. Then the real cracks appeared. Jake started coming home late, smelling of unfamiliar perfume mixed with his usual leather and hay. Over time at the ranch, he'd say, avoiding my eyes. His phone password changed, and he'd tilt the screen away when texting. I told myself it was paranoia from work stress. But one night, at 1 a.m., while I was crunching numbers for a client, he texted, "Last night was incredible. Can't wait for more." I'd been home alone the night before. When I confronted him at breakfast, he laughed it off. Autocorrect glitch. Meant it for my buddy Tom about poker night. It was flimsy, but I wanted to believe. The credit card statements became my obsession. A $250 dinner at the Mint Bar in Sheridan, hours away, when Jake said he was fixing fences. Lingerie from a fancy online store I never shopped. Flowers from the local florist, none delivered to me. I asked him point blank. Bought Mom a gift card for Mother's Day, he mumbled. But Evelyn's birthday was in fall. Lies stacked like cordwood. I dug deeper. Evelyn's Facebook, set to public by accident, showed photos of her at these places. Arm in arm with a younger woman, mid-20s, blonde hair flowing like a prairie wind, dressed in outfits that screamed city chic. In one mirror selfie at a boutique, I spotted rings on the woman's hand, 3 silver bands, etched with stars. Days earlier, Jake had left his tablet open. A photo flashed of him kissing that same woman at a bar. He snatched it away, yelling about privacy. But I'd seen enough. The rage hit like a sudden thunderstorm. Evelyn wasn't just overspending, she was aiding the affair, using my money to wine and dine Jake's mistress. I could have stormed in screaming. But no. In Montana, we handle things with grit. I needed proof. Consequences. I started tracking her posts, check-ins at malls and Billings, emojis of shopping bags and hearts. One crisp morning, she posted, "Girls' day out in Billings with my favorite gal." 2 heart shopping bags. I called in sick, first time ever, and drove the 2 hours east. The mall was bustling with ranch families and tourists. Hiding behind a display in the jewelry store, I watched Evelyn and the woman, laughing, trying on necklaces that sparkled under the lights. Evelyn swiped my card for $300 worth. My blood boiled. They moved to handbags, then clothes. I tailed them, heart pounding like hooves on hard ground. Close enough once to hear, "Jake's so lucky to have you, darling. You make him feel like a real man, not buried under work." Evelyn's words cut deep. In the high-end boutique, they piled dresses at the register, total climbing to $2,500. Evelyn handed over my card with flair. I pulled out my phone, opened the app. Finger hovering over, report lost/stolen, deactivate now. The clerk swiped. Error. Declined. Evelyn's confusion turned to fury. Must be a mistake. Plenty of credit. She called the company on speaker. The rep confirmed, deactivated by primary holder for security. Evelyn's face strained. That controlling witch, my daughter-in-law, the woman, let's call her Kelsey, looked panicked. I stepped out from behind a rack. Evelyn. Nice spree? Their faces were a picture of pure shock, Evelyn's cheeks flushing redder than a Montana sunset, Kelsey's eyes wide as a deer's in headlights. The boutique smelled of leather and perfume, the kind that clings to betrayal. Shoppers paused, sensing the drama unfolding like a scene from a Western showdown. What in tarnation are you doing here? Evelyn sputtered, clutching the card like a lifeline. Shopping? Same as you, I replied, my voice steady despite the storm inside. I turned to Kelsey. We haven't met. I'm Sarah, the wife whose money you're spending. Kelsey's lips quivered. She looked ready to bolt. Evelyn recovered first. This is my friend from church group. We're just... I held up my phone, showing the app's transaction history. $300 at jewelry, $500 on bags. And now this haul. For a card meant for meds and groceries. Remember? My tone was calm, but the hurt seeped through. Evelyn's eyes narrowed. You gave it to me. You can't just cut it off like that. Actually, I can. As primary holder, it's my right under the card agreement. No contract binds me to fund your outings. I checked the laws. Montana consumer protections are clear. Authorized users have no ownership. Kelsey touched Evelyn's arm. Maybe we should go. No. Evelyn snapped. She's always lording her money over us, making Jake feel small because she wears the pants in that marriage. The words landed like a punch. I'd sacrificed weekends for our life, thinking it built us up. But here was the truth, resentment bubbling under the family facade. I showed them a screenshot from Evelyn's Facebook, a photo of her and Kelsey at a steakhouse. Captioned, with my son's true match red heart. Dated months back. Future daughter-in-law. I quoted. Kelsey whimpered. Evelyn's fists clenched. Jake deserves better than a workaholic who ignores him. I was helping him see that. Helping? By funding his affair with my earnings. My voice rose. Drawing security. But I wasn't done. I've got text too from Jake's old phone he didn't wipe properly. You coaching Kelsey on how to win him over, planning dates on my dime. The clerk backed away. Phone in hand. Evelyn's tears were angry. Not remorseful. You're ruining everything. Jake will. Jake will what? Side with you? He's always been your boy. I looked at Kelsey. How long? For months from the charges. She whispered. 6. Her voice broke. I thought he was leaving you. The admission hung heavy. I recorded it all, Montana's one-party consent law on my side. This ends now. Cards canceled. Rent help stops next month. Figure it out. Evelyn shrieked as I walked out. You'll regret this. You heartless bitch. In my truck. Hands trembling on the wheel. I drove to my best friend Lisa's ranch. She opened the door.
Pulled me in.
You okay? I did it. Canceled right in front of them. We sat on her porch. Watching elk graze. Lisa. A no-nonsense cowgirl. Nodded. Good. Now call a lawyer. Catherine Hayes was a sharp Bozeman attorney, specializing in family law. Over coffee the next day, I laid it out, affair, fraud.
All.
We can file for divorce on fault grounds, adultery's recognized here. Prenup? No? Then we protect your assets. Jake blew up my phone. 17 calls. I ignored. Forwarding to Catherine. That night, he showed up at home. Eyes red. Mom called hysterical. What the hell? Sarah? I crossed my arms. I saw them. Shopping with your mistress on my card. His face crumpled. Kelsey's just a friend. Mom introduced us at a bar. Lies won't cut it. I have proof. I showed the photos. Texts. He sank onto the couch. Head in hands. It started innocent. You were always working. Mom said you didn't appreciate me. Your mom orchestrated this? For what? My money. The betrayal deepened. He admitted bits, Evelyn pushing Kelsey as better, using the card for dates. But he swore he didn't know the full extent. I love you.
Sarah.
We can fix this.
No.
Pack a bag. Go to your mom's. He left, tail between his legs. Catherine built the case fast. Montana's no-fault divorce is easy. But with fraud, we aimed for protection. Jake had opened a secret card using our joint tax info, federal offense potential under identity laws.
Plus.
Deleting work files from my laptop he borrowed. Evelyn sued for support, claiming verbal contract. Laughable. But she tried. Catherine shredded it. No written agreement. My right to revoke. Weeks blurred into court prep. Lisa supported me, helping pack Jake's things. One evening, Jake's dad, Harold, a quiet rancher I'd always liked, called. Meet me at the diner? Over pie at the local spot. He looked weary. Evelyn's always been manipulative. Pushed Jake into this mess for control and your stability. He handed a USB. Screenshots. Emails. She planned it all, thinking she'd upgrade the family. Why now? I asked. Guilt. I should have spoken up sooner. His eyes misted. I'm leaving her. Moving to my sister's in Wyoming. The info strengthened our case. Jake's lawyer pushed settlement. 50-50 split.
No alimony.
Catherine countered. Fraud voids that. Sarah keeps house. Savings. Jake gets debt. They folded. In the conference room, Evelyn glared daggers. Jake signed. Broken. I'm sorry, he whispered. Not enough, I said. But a seed of pity stirred. He'd been manipulated too. Post-divorce. The house felt empty. Echoes of what was. But Montana's vastness helped heal. Hikes in Yellowstone. Fresh starts. My firm thrived. I landed contracts with national parks outfits. Yet loneliness crept in. Especially winters when snow blanketed everything. Evelyn's calls stopped after a restraining order. Montana law clear on harassment. Jake moved in with her. Their trailer a pressure cooker from what Harold shared. Kelsey vanished. Probably back to whatever bar she came from. One stormy night, my phone rang, unknown number. Sarah? It's Kelsey. Her voice trembled. Why call?
I
Broke up with Jake. Living with Evelyn's hell, she controls him like a puppet. Fights nonstop. I see now what you endured.
I'm sorry.
I paused, anger fading to understanding. Apology accepted. But don't contact me again. Hanging up. I felt lighter. Forgiveness wasn't for her. It was for me. Work offered a promotion, senior partner, with relocation option to Denver for bigger clients. Think about it, my boss said. Fresh air. But city perks. I thought of Bozeman's memories, good and bad. Sold the house to a young family. Excited for their ranch life. Lisa helped pack. Tears in her eyes. Visit often. Cowgirl. I will. We hugged under the big sky. Denver's energy hit like a whirlwind. Rocky's views from my high-rise apartment. Bustling streets. I set Harold's gifted cactus on the sill. A reminder of roots. New job, directing finances for ecotourism firms. Challenging. Rewarding. Months in. A date with Mark, a marketing guy with a dry wit. Laughter over craft beer. No pressure. You're strong, he said after I shared bits. Inspiring. Strength built from ashes. But the past lingered. One day, Denver PD called. Recovered docs with your name in an identity theft bust. At the station, Officer Ramirez showed files, my old tax returns, bank statements. From 2 years back. Ring a bell? Chills. My ex had access. Investigation revealed Jake. Desperate post-divorce. Debts mounting. Evelyn demanding sold info to thieves. Not just mine. Clients from his ranch job. Federal charges loomed under CFA. Evelyn called frantically, blocked. But voicemails pleaded. Help with bail. For old times. Harold texted. She's frantic. Ignore her. I did. Testified minimally. Letting justice roll. Jake pled guilty. Got probation. Community service, mending fences literally at a state park. Evelyn faced accessory charges but probation too. Ordered therapy. In court. Our eyes met. Jake's regret genuine. I messed up bad.
Sarah.
Mom pushed. But I chose wrong.
Nod.
Learn from it. Outside. Evelyn approached. Humbled.
I
Was wrong. Jealous of your success. Used it against you. Her vulnerability cracked my armor. Why?
fear.
Losing Jake to your world. Tears fell. Forgive me. Not yet. But maybe someday. I walked away. Not vengeful. Empathetic. Life in Denver bloomed. Mark became steady, weekend hikes. Honest talks. Your story's tough. But you're resilient, he'd say. Holding my hand. Firm promoted me again VP level. Leading teams. Achievements Evelyn once mocked, now mine alone. Harold visited. Bearing Wyoming honey. Evelyn's in counseling. Changing. Slowly.
Good.
We shared stories. Forging a bond beyond the mess. One evening, Lisa flew in. Over wine on my balcony. City lights twinkling. She grinned. You glow?
Girl.
Feels good. Learned to value myself. She clinked glasses. To that. A year post-divorce, I volunteered at a women's shelter, teaching finances, empowering others. Saw echoes of my story in theirs. Boundaries matter, I'd say. Family doesn't mean blind loyalty. Jake reached out via letter, probation rules. Therapy opened my eyes. Mom's influence was toxic. I'm sorry for the pain. Working on myself now. I replied briefly. Glad you're growing. Wish you well.
No reconciliation.
But closure. The humane path, recognizing human flaws. Choosing growth over grudge. Evelyn sent a card, attending AA, facing my issues. Thank you for showing me the mirror. Even harshly, I didn't respond. But the anger dissolved. Lesson light, betrayal hurts. But understanding heals.
2 years on.
Life's tapestry richer. Married Mark in a simple mountain ceremony. Lisa, maid of honor. Harold walking me down. No drama. Just love. Our home overlooks valleys, blending Old West with new dreams. I run a nonprofit side gig, aiding financial literacy in rural areas, preventing traps like mine. Jake remarried quietly. Evelyn lives independently, volunteering at church. We nod at rare encounters. Past buried. The shopping spree? A pivot point. Taught me. Family bonds test us, but self-respect anchors. Revenge tempts, but redemption endures. In the West's vastness, we all seek our trail. Mine leads to peace.